Britt. All right, so happy International Women's Day. My name is Candy Martin. I am excited to be here with you all. I have a host of friends that have been so gracious and so kind to take time out of the day to be with me. So I feel extra special today. If no other day, I'm going to be floating all day. I'm going to say I have my friends with me. So in the world of technology, anything goes wrong, I'm okay because these are my friends. They're gonna just call me afterwards and say, "Girl, now you know next time you might want to hire somebody to do that." All right, so let's get right into it. Everyone, your Zoom access is muted. Don't worry. Toward the end, we will open up all the lines so that we can take Q&A. We do ask if you have a little noise, a little excitement going on in the background, that you would be polite to mute it for us. And so I don't want to prolong the time. I'm so excited. I know these beautiful women that are here with me to celebrate Happy International Women's Day. They're ready to get right to it. Guys, we thank you for tuning in and supporting us. Look, let me tell you, Happy International Women's Day does not mean no men day, because I love my man, which is my husband. So we still like the guy, but it's our day today, okay? Hence me wearing pink. Anyone that knows me know that this is probably not my favorite color because I'm not a pink girl, but guess what? I'm wearing it today. I'm rocking it today. So take the picture, screenshot it, because I don't know when I'm gonna wear it again. All right, so let's get right into it. What I would like to do before I get into all the introductions and all of why we're here, I want to play a video for you. So just hang on tight. Let me do that for you.
Every woman has a unique story, a distinct voice, but there's one thing we all share: the need to understand money.
Despite advancements, many of us are still left in the dark when it comes to our finances. It's time to shed light on this crucial knowledge. According to projections, by the year 2030, women are set to control a staggering $30 trillion in financial assets, representing approximately 2/3 of our country's entire wealth. Further, it's estimated that while 80% of men die married, 80% of women die single. We've made great economic and academic progress, but women earn just 82 cents for every dollar earned by a man. These statistics highlight the evolving dynamics of wealth and relationships, underscoring the importance for women to take control of our finances today.
These books, showcased on TV and the internet, are more than just pages. They can become a pathway to financial literacy, delivering valuable insights, practical tips, and actionable strategies to help you seize control of your financial future and reach your goals.
Learn from women who have transformed their financial destinies with this knowledge. Their stories are real, powerful, and inspiring.
But this is just the beginning. We're inviting you to join a movement, a financial education movement for women, by women.
Financial education is not just about numbers. It's about freedom, confidence, and creating the lifestyle and legacy you want. Join our women's financial education movement. Embrace the power of financial knowledge. Whether you're established, just starting out, or starting over, now is the time to be part of the revolution. Read the How Money Works for Women book, enroll in a How Money Works books course, or attend a workshop, or simply start an open and honest conversation about finances with your friends. Together, we can redefine the future of wealth, a future where women are not just watching from the sidelines, but leading the way. Your journey starts now. Be bold, be the change, take control.
Wow, isn't that powerful? I mean, that is just amazing. I am so glad I'm not the next speaker to come behind such a great video. But so what I want to do, I'm going to tell you guys why we're all here, and then we'll get started. Like I said, I'm Candy Martin. I own and operate Martin Business Solution. And with that, financial education is at the heart of everything that I do here in my practice. And I had the honor of partnering with a company called Wealthway, where we are the How Money Works Money Milestone Company, and we are on a crusade to bring women to the forefront of financial education. So I'm not going to spill the beans. I'm not going to say too much. I'm going to leave something for all of my wonderful, beautiful friends that have decided to come on with me today. And so what we're going to do in the first part of today, we're going to we're going to ask that each one of the ladies introduce their character. They're going to tell us all about who their character is and what's going on with their character. And then we're going to come back and we're going to do some other things. And then don't go away because they're going to come back with the Q&A about their character. So, but what I want to do, I'm going to introduce these ladies one by one, give them their accolades. And I'll try not to get long-winded and emotional, you know how women tend to do. So this is going to be a challenge for me. I'm going to test my skill set. All right, so the honor of our first character is going to be Miss Christa Mathews. And so I am going to stop sharing the screen just so that we can see the fullness of her beauty. And so like, you know, when you're on Zoom, we can really see what she's saying. So I am excited. So let me do a few things. So housekeeping rules. Please put all your questions in the chat. We are going to open up the Q&A toward the end. We want to kind of go all the way through and let everyone allow everyone time to do their part. And like I said, don't go anywhere. I'm going to be here. All right, so let's get started. I'm excited. Can anybody tell I'm excited? Okay. All right, maybe so. All right, so first up, we are going to have the beautiful Miss Christa Mathews. She is a wonderful soul. She and I have this this ritual. I don't think I realized how it has become our own little tradition until I was looking for pictures. And I was like, hey, we're always taking pictures. We're off in the corner trying to squeeze in between people, get the right angle, you know. And so Krista's she is a phenomenal woman in her own right. She is a financial educator. She is a photographer. Follow her on Instagram called Krista Clear. I love the name. That is so witty of her. So she is going to come on. She's going to tell us about her character, and she's going to tell us a little bit about herself, and then we're just going to keep it flowing. All right, Krista, it's all yours.
There we go. Okay, perfect. It was a setting on your end. I'm sorry. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you, Candy, so much. I am so honored to represent our youngest character in How Many Works for Women. This character's name is Zoe. She's 19 years young, and she's actually representing our Gen Z students and graduates. So her story in the book really talks all about how she's trying to navigate the ins and outs of college and how much all of this is going to cost. So she's trying to figure out, you know, should she get a part-time job to help pay these expenses? What her major should be. She's thinking, I'm not even going to be a lawyer or a doctor where, you know, hundreds of thousands are about to rack up. But at 19, I'm already in debt. I mean, she's really already experiencing that. And, you know, her focus is really twofold. She focuses on two of our money milestones, number 4 and number 6, debt management. So having a really good financial plan, and of course, building wealth. She wants to start already. She knows the power of starting earlier and starting now while she knows this knowledge. But, you know, unfortunately, as she's already feeling the weight of these student loan payments and she's already worried about how much her loans will add up to, she's worried how she's going to pay them off during college, after college. Can she wait 5 or 10 years? Will interest accrue? She has no idea how all of that works, but nonetheless, she's very determined. And she knows that she wants to be the first graduate in her family. And, you know, she's always been taught that a higher education equals a higher salary. So we're really here to bring her story to light to show that there maybe are more options out there. And, you know, for millions of Americans, including Zoe, she thinks that that dream of a college education is really only attainable through that really high cost of student loan debt. So she just wants to know what these long-term implications are. She's sitting down with her financial aid advisor, and you know, she really wants to know her game plan. I mean, who knew that financial stress already kicks in at 19 years old? So, you know, she really is focusing on a lesson of making sure that she has a financial game plan intact but that she sticks to that financial game plan. Just like a financial GPS, she wants to know where she is and where she wants to be by graduation. So I'm really, really excited for her. And, it feels so real because I have so many of my best girlfriends from high school and college that are still experiencing in our late 20s, early 30s, still experiencing student loan debt and not knowing how to attack their options head on. So anyway, she feels unstoppable and she's very excited. And I really encourage you to share her story. If you have any graduates in your family or you have any, students about to graduate here in May, share her story and maybe it will help them accrue their game plan and really get a financial game plan in place.
All right, thank you, Christa. I appreciate that. Hang around. We want to hear more about Zoe. I'm just thinking, I got a grandbaby that's coming through. I'm like, Lord, should I start saving now? All right. So we're going to hear more about Zoe later on. And so my next friend that we're going to introduce is Miss Vanessa Walker. She is also going to be representing one of the characters in the book. I'm going to let her tell you all about her character. I'm going to let her tell a little bit about herself if she chooses. But let me tell you my take on Vanessa. Vanessa is she's near and dear to my heart. I like being with Vanessa. She's fun. Look, we be at those conferences and at those meetings, and we be like, where we gonna sneak off to, So we managed to find food and water wherever we go. We managed to take a walk, enjoy where we are. Vanessa reminds us life isn't about just money, but it's also about family first and foremost. So that's what I love most about Vanessa. So Vanessa, it's your turn to tell us about your wonderful character.
Thank you, Candy, and I love you very much. Okay, well, I want to talk to you a little bit about Maria. So Maria is a CPA. She's 27 years old and she's an entrepreneur. So Maria was working for a firm, but she really didn't like working paycheck to paycheck. So she really wanted to take control of her income, and also she wanted to save some money. So she started her own accounting practice for women business owners. So she wanted to prove to herself and others that didn't believe in her that she could be a successful entrepreneur. So also Maria got engaged and she was planning her wedding. So, planning a wedding, starting her business, those are some big ticket items, right? So, but Maria was very determined to follow her dreams without really getting into debt. So I don't know if you know the statistic, but couples spend an average of $28,000 for a wedding. From $15,000 for a wedding of 50 guests or less to $38,000 for more than 100 guests. That's a lot of money, right? But you see, financial literacy is so important for women like Maria's situation, because if you don't know financial literacy, you can easily end up in a lot of debt. So financial literacy helps you support various life goals like saving, budgeting, debt management, creating an emergency fund, which is very important in her case, tracking spending, running a business. So financial literacy is the main way for your success in your personal life and in your business if you're starting a business. So if you're planning to start in a business or planning a wedding, I really recommend you to read Maria's chapter. So because her chapter include tips to deal with starting a business, and also it gives you tips to save some money when you're planning a wedding. So when you read this chapter, you should be able to create a business plan, how to set up a name for your business. You should know how to communicate easy as a couple around money. Also, that's it. Financial literacy is really the main way for your success in your personal life or in your business. Thank you, Candy.
I gotta remember to unmute myself. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you. Planning a wedding. Oh my, my son got engaged over the Christmas holidays. So yeah, so yay for me. So yes, I am definitely, I probably need to go back and read that chapter again. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you. All right, so now it's time to I'm just excited. Vanessa is in Jacksonville, Florida. Christa in Atlanta, Georgia. All right. Now, Miss Sierra, who I'm bringing up here next, is where it's really, really, really cold. So I'm going to let her tell us where she is. But let me tell you about Miss Sierra. She is a sweetheart. Let me tell you, she is a fireball. She's a go-getter when it comes to financial education. She's holding no prisoners. She's out on a crusade, and I admire her courage. She just recently relocated from down south in Florida to up north. And she's doing it solo up there, but I am here to let Sierra know we are all here to support you. I know you come on to support what we're doing here for International Women's Day, but I want you to know that I'm here and we're all here to support you. You know, we need any little excuse to hop on an airplane to come see you. So we're going to let Sierra come on and tell us about her character. Take it away.
Well, thank you, Candy. That is so kind. I am coming to you all from Lincoln, Nebraska. We actually got a little bit of snow today, so that's just perfect since many of you I know are in sunshine and 70s and 80s. So, but I'm so excited to be here with you. My character I have the honor of introducing is Val. Val is a 31-year-old social media influencer and blogger. 4 years ago, she gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. And when her son was born, she found out that he was also diagnosed with autism. Now, she then decided to change careers from a successful interior decorator to being a social media influencer and blogger so that she could stay home with her son and make sure that her son has everything he needs to thrive. And in doing so, she also found this huge new passion of educating and helping other parents of special needs children. Now, in Val wanting to make sure her son has everything he needs to thrive, one of her biggest concerns are her and her son's financial needs, both his and hers. Now, this concern of Val's is more common than one might think. Nearly 1 in 5 children in the United States has a special healthcare need. Now, it's estimated that the cost to raise a child with special needs is around $70,000 a year. Now, over a lifetime, this might add up to be between $1.5 million to $2.4 million, depending on the disability. So I absolutely understand Val's concern for her and her son's financial future. And for most parents, financial responsibility for their children ends once they're adults, right? 18, 19, they're done. But for parents of special needs children, financial responsibility may never end. In fact, some parents may have to plan for their child's future well into their own retirement or even after they pass away. So in Val's chapter, we talked to her about government assistance, special needs trusts, and ABLE accounts, all of which are important for her to understand in taking care of her son. And at the end of the chapter, we want her to feel that she can take the steps necessary today to prepare for an uncertain financial future for her and her son. Thank you, Candy.
No, thank you, Sierra. And yeah, hate to rub it in. We are kind of in some nice sunshiny weather, but the downside to it, we do have a storm brewing outside. So we, I'm praying against any technical issues, when it rains down here, how it does. So thank you, Sierra. We're gonna bring up our next character, which is going to be Miss Marquetta from down in Georgia. I think Georgia is kind of taking over the airwaves here today, but that's okay. We're I love it. We're all over the globe here. All right. And I'm going to bring up Marquetta Nolbert, and she is going to tell us about her character. And how is the weather there for you, Marquetta? I mean, I'm just curious. Oh, you're muted. Do I need to unmute? Okay.
Oh.
There you are.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. There you are.
Great.
So let me tell you about. Let me tell you a little bit about Marquetta first. So she and I met via text, I think, or email. Somebody referred her to me. I don't know. And so for the last few years, maybe 5 or 6 years, maybe we have never met in person. And I got to talking to her about the business, and she said, "Yeah, sign me up. I want to be on the crusade with you guys. This sounds just like what I want to do." And we had our first Zoom last year. So we had been talking on the phone, email, and text for like 5 or 6 years. And we had our first Zoom last year. And she met me in Dallas, Texas, back in January. And we at the One Decision conference, and we met in person for the very first time. And so that means a lot to me that through the years she has trusted me and taken some of my financial advice, and voila, she's here now educating others about how money works. So Marquetta, I don't want to steal your show. I'm going to let you tell us about your character and a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, thank you, Candy. That was sweet. Well, today we actually have a little rain, but what I like to say is Georgia weather is very bipolar. You never know. You might have to have a sweater, a coat, a jacket, an umbrella, some shorts, because you never know what you're going to get at any day and time. So that's one thing about Georgia's weather. But I want to talk about my character, Dana. Dana is a 42-year-old hospital director, and she actually has a husband and 2 kids. And she wants to have coverage for her family in case something happened. She's been a director at the hospital for a while, and she also does not want to rely on her husband's income like a lot of independent women these days. We want to have our own money. So that's always a great thing. She wants to be able to cover for her kids and also for retirement. And she's been trying to figure out how to go about doing that as well. She has also, she's been looking at different avenues and seeing how her 401k plan and her group plan doesn't fully cover the dreams that she has set. So she opened an additional life insurance policy to kind of bridge the gap of what she has going on. So I can relate with Dana a lot because I'm in the medical field. I have a mobile lab, and I have kids and grandkids coming. So I have a lot of people that I need to protect and have coverage for. So I relate to Dana very well as far as being independent, not wanting to depend on my husband's income for things. And she's very encouraging with just her demeanor and the way she talks and the way she portrays herself in the story. She makes me happy because she's relatable. She makes me feel like, okay, I can do this wherever I may have doubts or things. And that makes me happy. But for the most part, her 401, I'm sorry, guys. This is my baby. I had to put him in the cage. Forgive me. He doesn't like to be there. So for the most part, she did. I lost my train of thought. Forgive me. That's it about Dana. That's all I got to say. Back to you, Candy. I'm sorry, my dog.
Oh, no. Look, fur babies are important too. Look, let me tell you, if you want to start a riot, start doing something against these fur babies. So no, we understand. Thank you so much. And it was just how it aligned that Dana was your character. And I was like, oh, this is Marquetta all day. So thank you for sharing her story, and thank you for sharing a little bit of yours as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. I'm just so excited, and I'm so thankful for like I said, all of my friends and how they are coming along and sharing in this with me. And so I already told myself no crying today. Today is not a crying day. Today is a day of empowerment, and I am not gonna cry. And so Marlene, don't be looking at me like that, because we're not gonna start crying. This is not this is not the day that we're gonna cry. We're gonna cry another day, but not today. Marlene and I, like, oh my gosh, we're like Bonnie and Clyde. Like we'll probably be in cahoots in something. So, but Marlene, I met her back in 2012. I'm gonna keep it really short. We were at the airport. We both were going to the same conference. We didn't know it, but we were at baggage claim and we were kind of standing next to each other. And Marlene, being Marlene, walked up a conversation. She is like her antennas are on at all times, and she sparked up a conversation with me, and lo and behold, we had made friends in that little short window, and we got in the same the ride that came to pick me up was the same ride picking her up, and so we have been unmovable ever since. And throughout the years, we've kept in touch, and we've always supported one another. She's in Denver, Colorado. So Sierra, she's not too far from you. And so Marlene, so many wonderful things about her, but one of the things I love the most is she is always, always trying to figure out how she can help women in business, women in their personal finances, how she can help move them forward. So Marlene, tell us all about your character and a little bit about the weather where you are today.
Well, I'm a mile high. I'm higher than most of you guys are. We got a big old storm up in the mountains, but what's so great about being in Denver is that we have a little pocket that sits right up here next to the foothills. And so we don't get all the blasts of snow. We do have a little bit of snow, but nothing. It's colder than it is snowy. So I forgot who was talking about Marquetta was talking about being in Georgia and having to carry all kinds of different equipment and clothes with you. That's how it is in Denver. It can blizzard for 2 or 3 days, and the next day the sun's out and it's already melting, and people walking around in shorts and flip-flops. That's the way it is here. So we're always having to pack and unpack things and keep them in the car. I get it. Well, let me tell you, and I'm going to read my story, my character story, because she's got so many pieces that are important for you to know about her. So her name is Sarah, and she's a 49-year-old real estate agent. Now I relate with her on that layer because I am also a financial advisor, but a real estate agent. So let me tell you about her. Some may forget to dot their I's and cross their T's, but not Sarah, especially not in the word stickler. While not known for tact, Sarah's honesty and persistence have helped her remain the top producer for over a decade. Sarah prides herself on being independent, a trait she has worked hard to instill in her daughters. But 12 years ago, she had to start all over again at the age of 37 after escaping an abusive relationship. She built a successful residential real estate business from nothing so that she could take care of her and her daughters. Sarah is still surprised that so many times she gets asked the same question, well, why did you stay so long? Why didn't you leave earlier? And she wants to say that staying trapped in an abusive relationship is not a choice. She had 2 young children, completely financially dependent on her abuser. And many women stay in abusive relationships due to financial obstacles and financial dependence, especially when we have children. She also wants to share something else with you. Money is about honesty, and that's what we're doing here today. A transparent conversation women need to have. And honestly, she says, I'm grateful that I get to be one of those who gets to have that conversation with you. Thanks, Candy.
No, thank you. Thank you. And a special thanks to you, Marlene, because I know that your voice has been on zero for the last few days and you saved it up.
Miraculously.
Yes. Because I've been like, Lord, help us. But I do want to thank you for saving your voice because we've been texting all week. So this is actually our first time talking to each other this week because she was preserving her voice to make sure that she's able to get it out for today. So I appreciate you. Thank you, Marlene. Thank you. All right. So Love you too, sweetheart. We are going to bring up our next speaker, which is Miss Laura Williams. Let me tell you about Laura. She is my girl. Look, she and I, we learned one thing we had in common. You know, our dance skills weren't. We need to kind of tighten up on them a little bit. But we were at an event, and it was, you know, people were just, you know, being at a meeting, and they weren't really moving around. And this particular song came on. I think it was the Bruno Mars song. And she and I said, you know what, we just kind of started dancing, and we met up in the center, and we've been dancing and talking ever since. And so I'm gonna let Laura tell us a little bit about herself. And if you guys are following me on Facebook and you've seen the post, I put all the fancy things in about my friends, you know, how important and how smart and special they are. But when I get on here, just reading a bio just didn't seem fitting. They are just so, you know, I want to talk about the relatable side of them. And Laura, don't worry, I'm talking because I'm trying to figure out how to unmute you. You know, that's, you know, us women, we are really good at that. We will figure it out. We will make a way. So hold on. I think I got it now. All right, I got it. But Laura, let me tell you, when I say supportive of all of us, she will get in the trenches with us. She will figure it out. She takes all the phone calls, all the texts, look, and she always lets me know what I need to wear. Because I'll text, I'll be like, Laura, this is the event. What am I supposed to wear? Should I dress up? Should I, you know, what are we doing? Where are we going? And she just patiently answers me, and then we go somewhere else. I'm like, okay, Laura, should I wear heels or should I wear tennis shoes? You know? So look, that's important. I don't know about you all, but ladies, we want to make sure that we are on our best behavior and that we look good at all times. So Laura, she does that for us. So thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you, Candy. Yeah, let me just tell you, Candy's always perfect. So don't let her do you on that. So I'm here to introduce May. May is 56 and she's a history professor. She's taking care of her aging father and helping her adult son. They both now live with her, and she's looking for help on how to take care of them without compromising her financial future. Women represent nearly 2/3 of unpaid caregivers and spend about 50% more time providing care than men do. Women caregivers are almost 3 times more likely to end up in poverty and 5 times more likely to depend exclusively on Social Security, which is not enough. Almost a quarter of American adults are part of this sandwich generation where they're taking care of aging parents and adult children. And I imagine with the economy the way it's been in the past year or so, that's probably even more so, especially with the adult children piece. Lots of them go and like boomerangs come right back. In May's chapter, there's a checklist for multi-generational financial planning. First and foremost, May should not be compromising her own retirement savings or long-term care planning to help take care of her family. A lot of women, you know, they tend to prioritize their family, but in this situation, we're really guiding her to take care of herself first. It's kind of like when you're on an airplane and they tell, you know, the mask drops down and you're supposed to put it on yourself before you put it on your loved ones. It's the same here. Another really important point is that May, her father and her son really need to sit down and have a discussion together about finances. You know, lots of people don't want to have their families worry or think that they're a burden, but everyone needs to know the situation. And, you know, if everybody's on the same page, then they know where they can help. Maybe they can find ways to make a contribution by bringing in, you know, maybe more money or by reducing expenses. They may not even realize that they have an opportunity to help. After reading this chapter, women should feel a sense of kind of satisfaction and relief that they can help take care of their family and still stay on track for their own financial goals. Back to you, Candy.
Thank you. You did a wonderful job. Laura always does. I mean, she, you know, the industry that she's been in for these many years, and to be on here with us is like having royalty. Like, yeah, thank you.
We have a little love fest going on.
Yeah, I mean, you know, hey, we're trying to stay professional, shoulders back, stick to the script until we all get together.
I know.
And then it all goes out the window. All right, so next I'm going to bring up Miss Yolanda. Let me see which, I think you have two profiles, so just give me 1 second. I got you. I found you. And I want to say thank you to all of our guests that are on. I want to take a second just to thank you all. We really appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to be with us on International Women's Day, celebrating women. And so we appreciate you all. And so that did not go unnoticed. So yes, so I'm going to bring up Miss Yolanda. Look, let me tell you, she is fun to be around. Let me tell y'all, when we be at those meetings, I know we keep talking about these meetings. Y'all want to go to, if you're not going to the meetings with us, you might want to pack up and come with us. But we do be paying attention and we do take notes and we participate. But Yolanda has a great sense of humor. I tell you, she, look, I enjoyed being with her, just having dinner with her when we were last together in January, February. And so Yolanda, I want you to come on and tell us all about your wonderful character, and then we'll keep it rolling.
Thank you, Candy. It's always a pleasure with you as well. So my character is Hope. Hope is 62. She is a nurse. Hope has, like most of us, experienced life's twists and turns, which something comes up all the time. But being 62, she is very close, and right around the corner is her retirement. So she wants to retire now. She's like, she wanted to be a nurse, and it's been fun for her. But now she's ready to enjoy life on her terms, which, like so many of us, we're doing things, but it's typically on what our needs, things that we need to do. So for Hope, she's working with sick people, and she believes that that's been her calling. So she's been very happy in that field, but now she's looking forward to retirement, for adventures, for traveling the world. Unlike most of us, once you've done your work, you're ready to retire and enjoy life the way you want to. She was expecting all those things, but the one thing she was not expecting was to be divorced in her 60s. Unfortunately, statistically, there are 30% of divorcing couples are over the age of 50, which is a staggering number, but a reality for today. And so there are ways that women who have taken control of the situation of their lives feel. And here are a few things. So for Hope, she's saying divorce was a surprise. So yes, it was a surprise. But yeah, I can get through it. And yeah, I can get through it without being financially devastated. So once she pulled herself out of the devastation, she got it together and decided what she was going to do. She put together a great team of professionals. So they will advocate for her behalf and her rights to make sure that there's enough money for her in her financial future. You see, I kept saying her, because it's not always that typical thing that's said when we're doing things in life. It's about everybody else. She's now focused on herself and thinking strategically, as well as ways that you can utilize your money. So for Social Security, you have the option of retiring at full retirement or early retirement. She's opting for the full retirement age and will utilize the time in between the two to now make save, I should say, even more money for her retirement. So it's the way you think about all the situations. We all have twists and turns. We've all have changed things in life. But the reality is, if you align yourself with the right group, the way you feel, you can take control and do whatever you need to. So back to you, Candy.
Okay, so I'm empowered now. Let me go get my cape, put my cape on. You have definitely motivated us, and I love the way you kept emphasizing her, because oftentimes as women, it's usually them, everybody else, and the rest of the world, and then us. And so, that's just kind of how it goes for us. But thank you, Yolanda, for reminding us that we do have to put ourselves first in a lot of cases. So next up, we are going to have Miss Kristeen. We ready to go, Kristeen? All right, ready to go. All right, let me get you up. Now, Kristeen is like a super supporter. I'm telling you, every time that I've been in her presence, I've always seen and noticed that she was making sure that everybody else was okay, everything was where it needed to be. I had the pleasure of meeting her in person because, like I said, a lot of times we, is it just my screen or is y'all screen? Everybody's screen's okay? Is the screen still good? Okay, great. Just making sure. So Kristeen, I had a chance to meet her in Jacksonville, Florida back in last July was the first time I think we were, or maybe like one of the second times we were together. And while we were there, she just was delightful. I love her attitude. I love her personality. And I hate we missed each other when you were here in New Orleans last. So the next time you come to New Orleans, we have got to make sure we connect in person because we do have the better food here in Louisiana. I'm just teasing. So, but Kristeen is going to tell us about her character and a little bit about the weather there in Jacksonville. Take it away, Kristeen. All right, you should be able to unmute now. That was my error. Check and see. Can you unmute yourself now? There we go.
All right. Okay, sorry about it.
That was my fault. My apologies.
Well, it's sunny Florida. It's about 76 degrees over here today. It's awesome. Thank you for inviting me to join your event today. I'm really pleased and honored to be participate in our team all across country today. Have a couple of events going on the same time, same day. So I just gonna introduce myself. My character is Fatima. She's a 73 years old stay-home mom. It just recently become a widow. So Fatima, majority of her time is she don't know anything about financial, what the pay the bill stuff, everything is up to her husband who is working, taking care of paying bill, everything out in household. And so when her husband passes away, she end up kind of afraid and scared. Like most of my clients come in with to see me, they're really scared because they never know what bill to pay, who's paying, what do they own, who they stuff like that. But unfortunately, Fatima is one of the lucky one because her husband had added her on into everything that they own, both in her checking account and her name also in a checking account, her name also on the house. So that's very helpful because many people, the husband only have their name on the account. So joint account, bank account is very helpful for her. As we all know that 51% of widow women aged 65 and older live in less than $22,000 a year. So Fatima was fortunately, even though her salary, her income, her husband's income were lost, and she's still entitled half of what he's earning on entitlement on his benefit there. She can live by. So 70% of the widow leave their husband, financial professional, right after his death. So in this situation, Fatima is probably taking advantage of that too. Fatima have opportunity to go check all her husband checking account, debt and stuff like that. And she also have opportunity because her husband have take her along to see a financial professional, even though she's not making decision, but she still participate in the event where he is. So with her attorney, they was helping her to transfer all his assets, stuff like that. Example, like his 401k, anything he owned on his checking saving account, anything asset to be able to transfer to her without go to probate, stuff like that. Fatima have opportunity because her husband is smart guy, and she make a list all her account, any account they own, any credit or any debt that they own, and any investment account or any pension, someone can list for her with the access code, the password for her to be able to go in, because they are continue to update their will consistently. So she was better off than majority of people in her condition. So Fatima was learning that, the bad thing that she challenging was because everything was on her husband's name, like a credit card, stuff like that right now. So her cash will be tight, because however she was hoping that she had planned to make sure that to have your own credit card in your own name, even though you marry, you don't have a joint account, you have to have separate name for that. That way, if somebody had passed away in this case, her husband who have all the credit card under his name. So when he's passed away, she don't have the obligation to pay his debt. But if she have her own credit card, she will have more cash flow that she can access to in this situation. So it's just important that to notify the contact. When your spouse passed away, you have to notify your Social Security office. You have to update your, get access to the qualified plan your husband earned, that he couldn't, like a pension or 401k, stuff like that, to make sure that you have to meet with the financial professional that help you transfer all those assets to avoid paying any tax, consequence, or probate issue. So in this case, she have a good financial professional that helping her walk her through that. So it's also important that we as women to update our will and our beneficiary regularly. If something happened, marriage, divorce, whatsoever, need to update that, especially if you have more than multiple accounts. You have to be aware of that. I have a client that we have been update the benefit his past his wife passed away since last year. Been update every account that I set up for him. Unfortunately, we forget one of the account that he had with previous different advisor that he come up to that get a statement today and will say, hey, my statement is not up to date. My will, my beneficiary in my own 401k still belong to my wife who already deceased years ago. Help me with that. So it's important that you make the list of what you own, what do you have, and make sure you update your beneficiary as often as you can. That's up to you now. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristeen. Can't you just hear the concern and the care and the friendliness in her voice? I mean, who wouldn't want to work with Kristeen? I mean, and in this industry, it's not common and often that you are around people that are welcoming. So Kristeen, hats off to you. Thank you for being that for so many people. So next, I'm gonna bring up Miss Yolanda. Look, let me tell you, she is, you know what, she has the most beautiful smile. But look, let me tell you, she gets a gold star in Courageous. She did something back in January, and I was like, I mean, it was like the talk of the conference. Like, do y'all know this is it okay if I share it? Okay, so Yolanda got on her first airplane ride in January to come to the conference with us, to come to the convention with us, the One Decision. So let me tell you, that is how motivating it is. Some of us were there and we were like, oh, I had to get on the flight and I had to wait. We were just complaining about little stuff. And here Miss Yolanda comes along. And this was her first flight ever. And she said, you know what? If you want different, if you want better, you got to do different. You got to do better. So I thank you, Yolanda. Hats off to you. I'm going to have to get you like a gold star or something next time I see you so I can pin it on you. I admire your, and then, a lot of times we say, well, it's too late. I should have done it when I was younger. But Miss Yolanda was like, I still got a lot of living to do. I'm getting on this plane. So thank you. Hats off to you, Miss Yolanda.
Hello, Candy and everyone. Thank you, Candy, for that introduction. I'm still excited and ready to go, and I'm just going to go into my character today. Her name is Jan. She's 86 years old. She was a stay-at-home mom. She worked with her family business as an office assistant for 40 years with her husband and then her sons. Jan is a widow of 20 plus years, but she's grateful for the conversations and plans that she and her husband had because she helped them, and more so with their financial future using basic financial concepts and the 7 money milestones. Jan is still alive today. She's enjoying retirement life, playing bridge and dealing crazy eights with her great grands. She owns her own home and car and is debt-free with no worries about money. I can kind of relate with Jan a little bit, but I'll get into that a little bit later because I'm right there at that point of being in retirement. But in her 86 years, Jan has seen 13 bear markets, 13 bull markets, 12 recessions, 6 periods of high inflation from 2008 to 2009, the Great Recession, and longest bull market of 2009 to 2020. She's learned about money early and has helped her be in control no matter if the market is up or if the market is down. Also in her lifetime, Jan has seen women make some progress in narrowing the gender pay gap and vast achievements in academic success, such as Title IX and the Equal Pay Act of 1963, where women were paid 60 cents for every dollar earned by a man. So here we are 30 years later, in 1990, it narrowed marginally to 70 cents. Additional 30 more years in 2021, we earn 82 cents for every dollar by men. That is devastating to us. But in closing, because of Title IX, women have more college scholarship opportunities, and there are 150 women serving in Congress. But I also can say this for Jan. Being an inspiration to her family today and every woman her age, I believe it is befitting to say it is never too late to start being financially educated about how money works and about taking control and not losing it. Back to you, Candy.
All right. Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you. Thank you. Both of Yolandas. They know why I'm hyping them up. So that's our little inside secret. But thank you so much, Yolanda. And I'm looking forward to that next plane ride. All right. All right. So we're going to do something a little different. We got all the characters introduced. Oh, and by the way, Jan, that Miss Yolanda was talking about, that's actually Christa Mathews' grandmother. So Christa, the one that told us about Zoe. So Zan is actually the character in the book, speaking about her grandmother. How precious. That is awesome. All right. So I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that. So what I want to do, we're going to take a different spin now. We got all the characters introduced, but don't y'all go anywhere. We're going to come back to them as well. It is International Women's Day, and we are using this day to highlight some of the things that we do in this industry, in the finance industry, in any industry that we're in, where we're women taking up, we're in the spaces. And so I want to bring up Miss Jana Woodhouse. Let me tell you, when it should have said Jana Powerhouse, but Woodhouse, I'll take it. It's just so fitting that that's in her name. But anyway, I met her maybe August of 22, I think it was. And where were we? We were at a meeting. I'm telling you, these meetings are not like meetings. They're more like family reunions. And we see each other, we're waving and we're hugging in the halls and everything. And I remember Miss Jana comes in and everybody like was hugging her, stopping her. I was like, she knows everybody. Like it took her like forever to get to me. And I was like, okay, well, whenever she comes by, I'm gonna introduce myself. Since everybody else is talking to her, I want to talk to her too. And she was so down to earth, so welcoming, so empowering, so inspiring. And I thank you. I don't even know if you remember our first encounter, but ever since then, we always talking now. Like it's like, hey, but that first encounter, I was a little starstruck, because I saw her presence. I saw how people respected her. And so I appreciate her. And even more so, just like everyone on here, each one of these ladies here, I appreciate you guys for taking time out of your day to partner up with me so that we can combat financial illiteracy and also give out some women empowerment while we're at it. So I'm going to bring up Miss Jana. Let me get her all put in the spotlight and everything. Make sure I got her where she can unmute herself. All right, great. And so, no, yeah, okay. Did I get it? Okay, great. So Ms. Jana, she has had experience working on Wall Street. She owns multiple businesses. And I recently found out she does poetry. I was like, oh, I could have had her to put us a poem together. I'm not going to put you on the spot. But I love that. So I'm going to give you a snap sound. And so Ms. Jana, come on and talk to us. One of the things I want to talk to you about is why is it so important? So let's just get right to it. So like, why is it so important for women to have representation when it comes to financial? If you go into the school system, we got women. If you go into the medical field, the women are there. If you go into the restaurant industry, we're there. So why is it so important and that we have that push to get through in the financial spaces?
Well, first of all, Candy, thank you for doing this. This is awesome. I will say is that the financial service industry is so important for us to look at from two perspectives. One would be, of course, as being a client, learning how money works, being able to sit with a financial educator, so important. But also, we need some bodies out there. We need soldiers. And on this mission, I will tell you just a little bit, go back a little bit on how I came into this industry. I have been in this industry now for over 30 plus years and started on Wall Street, one of the first African-American women to trade on Wall Street, full service broker. Not an easy time. There were not a lot of women. We do have women in our history that started in the industry. And I just thought because of International Women's Day that we mentioned them because they're important. There was Victoria Woodhull and her sister, Tennessee, and they were the first women in 1870 to open up a brokerage firm on Wall Street. But we have others. We have Maggie Walker. She chartered the first African-American woman to charter a bank. And then, of course, Muriel Seabrook. We have to look at her. She was the first woman to have a chair on the exchange. These are women who were spearheading and the forefront of coming into the industry because it has been a male-dominated industry. But I can't be remiss in stating that what Kim Scouller and Sharon Lecter have done is to open the door so that we can read it and then we can internalize it and then we can act upon it. All the things that we need to know. This is a phenomenal book, but in respects to it is that we have to read it. You know, it's like one of the characters in the other book says, read the book. Okay, so from that standpoint, we've got to understand why we need to be in this industry. Today's world, there's only 24% of the women represented in the entire financial service industry. That's a little bit, okay? And then when you look, they anticipate for 2030, there will be a growth of about 4%, which means 28%. That's not enough. Why? Because women can talk to women, and we need to talk to women. We need to relate to our feelings, our understandings. You know what they talk about us. We can bring home the bacon, cook it up at night. We can diversify. And to do so, we need more women in the financial service industry, but no one has really introduced it to, especially our little girls, but even those who are more mature, to see it as a career. And being the financial educator is just awesome because when I came in the industry, we basically just were sellers. We sold. We told you because I said so, you do it. In today's world, we have an element of education. And I think people, once they're educated, my statement is, if you know better, you'll do better. And so we spend that time. We have the care. Do you realize that through the years with our male counterparts, generally they would talk only to the man in the family and not pay any attention to the woman, who by chance would probably be the one who's going to be managing money at some point, and fire them. So we need to be there for them. I will say is that it's anticipated in 2030 that there will be 30 trillion, that's with a T, $30 trillion that is going to be managed by women. So don't you think it's time for us to understand how money works? Why? Because we can't waste this. This is an opportune time. We are brilliant. Most women run their households, but then when it's time, we turn it over to the men and then they go mess it up.
And then we got to come back.
We got to come back, and the thing is that we've got, as statistics say, that most men die married, but most women die alone. So therefore, we need to get our act together. And I think that that's where we're on the road. And I would say, and challenge anybody who's looking for the opportunity for a new career, enlightenment, an added career, to look into the financial service industry, because it's so necessary right now. It is too many people out there that are making mistakes. And if we don't get to them, especially with this $30 trillion coming, if we don't get to them, who will? And what would happen? So I just say to everyone, this is awesome. We have girl power, because my statement in the book is that, knowledge is power, but action is queen.
Woo, I like that. We're going to have to use that. Thank you. Yes. Look, let me tell you, that's why I'm changing your name to Jana Powerhouse. Okay, I'm changing it. All right, so I am changing it.
No problem.
So let me ask you one more thing before I let you go, and we're not going anywhere. We're gonna do Q&A. But one more thing I want to ask you: what was the thing that made you say, "Okay, I'm gonna unmute you"? What was the thing that made you say, "You know what? This is the industry, if you don't mind, this is the industry that I want to go into instead of, so many other things you could have possibly done"?
Oh, definitely. Okay. So just to dial back, my dad, when I was 8 years old, told me that he who writes the check is free. So therefore you need a business. All right. Well, at 8 years old, I didn't know really what kind of business I was going to be in, but I knew I was going to be in business. So I had a teacher who was I'm a high school teacher. He was a business instructor, and he had a tax office. So I went to work for him as an apprentice for 2 years, and then I bought the business from him. And so at the ripe old age of 19, I owned a tax business. And I know, Candy, you know what you go through with that.
Yes,
but it's even worse when
yes.
you're 19 and you look like maybe 12. So I had to hire him back to put him in the front of the office. But then I wanted my clients to have the same benefits as the wealthy when it comes to investing. But when I'd send them out, they were sent back and told that they did not qualify. And so I was like, why? So what happened is I thought I was going to just have this little side gig with a tax office. Well, it has just parlayed into a phenomenal business, but it's the one that feeds my investment side, because my clients, I can help them. Because while in Wall Street, I found out that the average investor had to have $100,000 in income and $500,000 to invest. Well, that's not my group of people. So therefore, I became, while I was on Wall Street, the mercenary broker, because I took on clients that no one else would. And once I retired, coming here to this company, because I went looking, and there's a little article out there called The Wall Street Pioneer, and that's me, because I believed in helping everyone, and that everyone had the right to be able to invest just like the wealthy, get the same kind of service, and be able to reach their goals and dreams. And so I found WealthWave. And when I did, it was home. And I don't plan on ever leaving, because I don't plan to retire, because guess what? I don't get tired.
All right. Thank you, Miss Jana. Look, no, you're not leaving because then I'm going to be calling and then that'll be another excuse for all of us to hop on a plane to go to New York.
Yes,
you're
come to New
you're
York.
in New York, right? Yeah. So how's
Yes.
the weather there? How's the weather in New York?
It's all right. It's nothing like Florida, but it's still, it's New York.
Yes, love it. And that's what I love about what we do as a team here. We're from all parts of the country, from all over, and we are able to connect and, support one another. And that is something that's not heard of a lot in this industry, especially when the myths are that women can't work together. But let me tell you, we have all locked arms and we are working together. We're supporting one another. And this has been such a great experience. And so that's another thing about me and Ms. Jana too. We both are tax professionals as well. So I just thought it was so fitting. Part of the reason probably why we connected so well. And that's another thing. I heard Laura mention that before to Ms. Laura Williams. She's mentioned too in her previous career. It was in financial services, how they would only take people that had certain amounts of money. And that's one of the beauties about what we do. You can have $10 or $10 million, and we are going to treat you like royalty. We're going to sit down and make sure that you understand what you do and what you have and what your options are. And to me, that is very, very, very important. All right. So thank you, Ms. Jana. Don't go anywhere. I got some more questions for you. Thank you for sharing with us. All right, so I am now bringing up Miss Barbara Tilka. Let me tell you about Miss Barbara. She is as beautiful as she is. She don't play. When it comes to what's right for the client, Miss Barbara is on point. She is on post. She's like, this is what's the best for the client. And that just says a lot about her personality. She makes sure that, she's the type of person, and you should be around people that make you want to do better. If you're not around people that make you want to do better, you need to get around a new group of people. So I will tell you, being around Miss Barbara, meeting her, it was like, oh, okay. So this is professional. This is what it means to be poised and on point. And, I can't say what I really want to say because, you got to be all, girly and all polite, and sugar and spice. But Miss Barbara, let me tell you, I admire you and I thank you for taking your time out. And are you in Canada today by any chance?
I'm not, but you're so sweet. You're gonna make me cry. No, I just got back from seeing my dad.
Okay. Well, thank you for traveling and transitioning and finding a little nice corner to get on with me. I really appreciate that. Look, let me tell you, talking about making you cry. No, make me cry that you even, I just feel so honored. Each one of you ladies, every last one of you. Thank you all. So, okay, we're gonna stop it. We're not crying today. Go ahead, Miss Barbara. Look, I want you to talk to us today about, Ms. Jana just told us about why we should be present in the industry, in the financial services spaces. But Ms. Barbara, why WealthWave? Why this company? We're so different. I mean, there's so many places we can go, so why here and why now?
Well, I think the first thing that comes to mind is the education that we provide, which I didn't get, way back when I was really hungry for knowledge. And, a former advisor just sort of looked at my husband and patted me on the head and didn't answer my questions. And so I was just really, really wanting to learn this. And I think, when I got into the business, it was because I had, I'm on Bill Barnett's team in Jacksonville, and he taught me a lot, and my husband. So that's the biggest reason, I think, is this is a great business to really share a lot of great knowledge. And my reaction when Bill said you should do this was, I don't want to sell anything. I can't, because that was my experience, that someone wanted to sell me something. So it's just been really exciting to learn and to teach and pay it forward, and especially to women.
Well, thank you. So tell us a little bit about, a little birdie told me that you are, and the little birdie name starts with an L, ends with an A. I think you kind of figure out what I'm talking about. Says that you do a lot of women empowerment meetings, workshops. Can you tell us a little bit about how that looks, how that typical day looks for you?
Well, I think I've connected with a lot of women, professionals, friends, all these people that I know that are part of groups that really love, interesting speaking topics. And the women's groups that I've become a member of, some of them, They just really want to learn a lot about, building wealth, financial topics. And this is a really unique presentation. We teach from the book, How Money Works for Women. Everybody gets a book. And there's just so many great questions and discussions. We're even going to do like a catalyst group, like a mastermind group after, where there'll be about 15 women around a table, just, sharing knowledge. So these groups are, 30, 40 women that come and, just want to learn this. And so I do enjoy doing those. I enjoy doing them in someone's living room. It might be 12 women getting together. How many of you have been to a, whatever you call those, direct marketing at someone's house?
Tupperware,
yeah. And so I always say, gosh, imagine saying, hey, I'm going to have a gathering and nobody has to bring their wallet, and nobody has to buy anything. I was just at an event recently where they had clothing and it was fun. And yeah, I bought something. But, when they were all interested in me coming back and teaching, and they wouldn't have to buy anything. So that's definitely been really rewarding.
Well, that's awesome. And I like how you said that we get together, we learn, we share, we don't have to buy anything. Let me tell you, we can get together and talk about movies. We can get together and talk about the restaurant, the latest outfit, the last concert. Just imagine if we took that same energy and just did what you just stated. Ms. Jana talked about us being in the financial spaces, and the $30 trillion that's coming. So, Ms. Barb, so tell me, what are we gonna do with all this money when it comes? What is it looking like? What are our plans?
Well, I think to Jana's point, we're going to get more of our army beefed up because we really need to get out there and teach. I'm always running across women who have gone through a life event and they've got to deal with the money decision. Sadly, it's been a lot of divorce over age 50 or losing a spouse. And then in my age group, we're all taking care of our aging parents, and then all of a sudden having to figure out the finances. And you got to know what you're doing, so that's kind of what I think we need more people.
Well, thank you, Ms. Bob. Thank you for taking the time out. I hope you've gotten settled from traveling. I know how that can be. And
thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. So now I gotta find. I should have had a virtual red carpet. I was not thinking. We have got the Miss Kim School, the Kim Schooler, not just Kim Schooler, but the Kim Schooler, who is on with us. I'm going to bring her up. I'm going to, let me make sure I pin her. All right, there she is. Look, let me tell you, I don't know how she does it. I need to find out what she's putting in those smoothies. She is traveling, and she's right now you're at a women's event now. So I'm gonna keep it really short because I know that how we do things, lady. We put ourselves in 3 pieces and we serve everybody. So I thank you. That's one of the things about Miss Kim that I greatly appreciate. Our very first meeting, barely knew her last name, and she probably didn't even know my name. And she agreed to come to my women's event in New Orleans, and she came. I mean, she got her and Andrea. They drove up. They came. They supported. We got a chance to eat dinner and stuff together. She taught our ladies. She got us all fired up, and she told us about this book. And that was in October of 22. And she told us her vision about the book. And lo and behold, she is a woman of her word. The book has been released. Her and Miss Sharon Lester, they released the book, and it has been a whirlwind since. We are all excited and thankful to you, Miss Kim, for holding tight to your vision. I could go on and on and on and on, but I know, that I want to bring you on so I can ask you a few questions about what's going on with How Money Works for Women and how is this correlating with International Women's Day. So Miss Kim School, everybody, let's give her some virtual high fives. Let's put the emojis in there. Let's give her, hoorah. I don't know, whatever you got to do. But come on, Miss Kim. Thank you so much for being here with us today. So tell us, what are you doing today? And I love your outfit. So tell us what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. So, today is such an amazing day. And I hope wherever you are around the country, you all are feeling this great energy about a day where we celebrate women and our accomplishments, and we join hands shoulder to shoulder to do the work that we have yet to do. I've been listening to the other women leaders talk, and it's just so inspiring to hear all of you. There's so much we've done. There's so much more great work to do. But today, on this day of celebration, I'm in Atlanta, and I'm actually attending a International Women's Day luncheon with about 50 women. They're in the next room. So it's a restaurant, and next to the restaurant is a hair salon and a beauty spa. And so you can see I'm in a room with some equipment in it, but it was the only room where I could close the door because they're making so much noise out there with all the joy, celebrating International Women's Day. But I just had to be with you all today on this great Zoom. Candy, thank you so much for putting this together and for inviting all of us to participate in it with you.
Well, no, thank you. And look, you're next to a restaurant, next to a beauty salon. You're like in the best spot ever. Like you're in the two places.
Food and beauty. Wow.
I mean, we gotta love it. How awesome! That is so fitting for you. So, Miss Kim, we appreciate this book. Let me tell you, the theme for International Women's Day this year is Inspire Inclusion. So all the fuss about it is, hey, that we should inspire each other to be included. We're out in the world saying, hey, we're here, we're women, pay attention to us, we're a force to be reckoned with. So I know that the book is like at the height of all of this. So how has the book correlates with inspiring inclusion? Because in the book you have some awesome characters. So how did you manage to include everybody? Like what was the thought process behind putting that together?
So, it was really important for Sharon Lecter and I to really address a lot of different women in the different situations that real women find themselves in. And the inspiration for the characters came from listening to you all, listening to you and just all of the great women on here and who are part of the financial services industry talk about the women clients they're dealing with, whether it's a single mom with a special needs child, or a new widow, or a newly divorced woman, or a woman with children trying to figure out, how do I save money for retirement and for their college education? Or the young women just starting out, and how do I, take care of student loans? What do I do? All of the different situations that real women find themselves in are what we wanted to include in the book. And I love the theme for International Women's Day this year, inspire inclusion, because when we hear from all of the voices, when everyone is included, especially women going through whatever we're going through, it helps us feel empowered, and it helps us feel like we are being listened to, we're being heard. It makes us feel more confident about, the work that we've got to do alone and the work we've got to do together.
All right, well, that is so awesome. One of the things, I don't know if you were on earlier, but we talked about, I don't think with Barb, or it might have been Laura, I'm not sure. I've heard them both say this in the past, how oftentimes women go to seek financial help and they generally are met by a man that kind of overlooks them and want to talk to the male if the male is present. If there's no male present, he kind of just give them, something very generic. What is the part of the crusade that you're on to make sure that women financial educators are showing up in the spaces?
Well, you all heard a lot of great information from women leaders on this Zoom today about women coming into their own. And so from my perspective, it's so important for more women to consider a career in financial services, because we women, we feel more comfortable working with a female financial professional. And all of the studies bear that out. Women prefer to work with other women. Women feel like they can ask questions of other women financial professionals. Women feel like they're being heard. They feel like they are actually participating in the discussion. where women may not have the level of confidence or just may not feel like their goals or their concerns are being addressed when dealing with a male financial professional. Now, we all work with a lot of amazing men in this industry, and they are absolutely incredible. And I wouldn't be where I am today were it not for the men who have been supporting everything that we do. But women prefer to work with women. The majority of my clients are women. And the men professionals I work with say, I want more women on my team. I want more women working with me because I see that there is an issue or I see there is a concern or a challenge. And I want to help women clients. And so one of the ways I can do that, in addition to being a better listener, is to work with more women financial professionals. So since I went from being a lawyer to a corporate executive to starting my own financial business, it has been an amazing journey for me, but this was the best part of my career. This is the best part of my career. One of the things, now that I'm in my 60s, one of the things that I talk to Tom Mathews about is, what's the first line of my obituary? And the first line of my obituary for so long was going to be former president of one of the largest Trans-America broker-dealers in the country. And that is no longer the first line. That's probably now in the second paragraph. The first line of my obituary is going to be about the work we do for women, as women leading the financial services industry, and as women helping other women learn more about money and take control of their finances.
Wow. I mean, okay, let's just close it up and go home. I mean, that is powerful. I don't think you've ever shared, I don't know if I've ever heard you say that, Ms. Kim, about how you're working on and that's something we don't talk about a lot, the first line of our obituary. Is it going to be, what is it going to be? And that is so powerful in so many ways, so many things we can take from that. But how awesome that we get to be a part of that with you. So thank you for allowing us to partner with you. I mean, awesome. I mean,
yeah, it is.
I mean, that's powerful.
It's been something that's been close to my heart for a long time, because for a very long time, the way people introduced me was former president of the largest Trans-America broker-dealer in the country. That was the first line of my obituary. And I was president like 10 years ago. And so what have I done in the last 10 years to bump that down? We always have to be working on what's our purpose. What I want to strive to do more, to be better myself, and to help other women accomplish whatever it is they want to accomplish. That's what I want the first line of my obituary to be.
Well, let me tell you, you're doing that, Ms. Kim. You have supported, I know every woman on here, you have supported us in one way or another. You are always coming to our events, whether it's on Zoom, in person. You have personally supported my business by getting on all these Zooms and letting me interview you and ask you all those questions. So we give you your accolades and your flowers now, and we're going to continue. And this book that you and Ms. Sharon put together, we are going to use this as a tool, a weapon, whatever we got to do to get more women financially empowered. And I truly appreciate you for taking time and being in that spot you're in between the two best places you could be. So, so we thank you for that. So before you go, and we're gonna once we finish talking with you, we're gonna do some Q&A, and we're gonna do some final remarks from everybody that spoke. We're gonna let everybody come back on and give their final piece of advice to us. But one of the things I want you to do right before you leave is, what would be your inspiring moment for us today? Anything you want to share with us in honor of International Women's Day, Women's History Month, because we are making history.
Right.
So what do you want to leave us with? And it could be financial, professional, whatever you want to do, personal, however you want to inspire us today.
Well, what I would say, in addition to the theme about inspiring inclusion, the result of inclusion is all our voices are being heard. All our voices are being spoken. And so my final words on this wonderful meeting is make sure your voice is heard. Make sure you are speaking up and speaking out. It's important. Each one of our voices is important. Whether there are naysayers out there or people who agree with us, it doesn't matter. Make sure your voice is heard because it's important.
Thank you, Miss Kim. Speak up and speak out. Love it. Now they're gonna be like, where are all those women? Why are they so radical and wild? It's gonna be all Miss Kim's fault. Thank you, Miss Kim. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day. And we shall talk to you again soon. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Candy, and thank you all. Many, many blessings.
All right, y'all. We're gonna keep this party rolling. Aren't y'all fired up? Like, yeah. And then what we want to do is, I mean, it's just so many things I want to do now. Like, okay, stay focused and stay on track. What I'm going to do, I'm going to open it up for Q&A. I am going to, let's see, we're going to give me just 1 second. I'm going to bring some of our speakers up to the forefront. Well, I guess I'll do it. We'll just kind of do it as it goes. That's the wonderful thing about technology. You can have a perfect plan and then here comes technology. But one thing about us, we are prepared. That is part of being in the financial services industry, is being prepared. And so I want to echo what Ms. Kim said. What will the first line of your obituary be? I know that is not a sexy topic. It's something that we don't sit around and talk a lot about, but I do want you to leave away from here today thinking about that. What is my purpose? Am I doing something impactful for others? And, do I need to talk to a financial professional? Do I need to talk to my friends? That is in the industry? Do I need to think about a career choice? I need to reevaluate my life. And earlier, I'm not sure which one of the ladies said it, but it's never too late. I think it was Miss Yolanda. It's never too late to get started. It's never too late to start over. One of my mottos is, it can be one day I'm going to do it, or it can be today I'm going to do it. So you decide what type of day it is for you today. So what I want to do, I want to open it up for a Q&A if you guys have some questions, and I'll just kind of play it by ear. That's the fun part of this. So let me allow where you'll be able to unmute yourself. However, if you do have a lot of background noise, I do ask that you, mute, say your question and put yourself back on mute. So, all right, let's see. All right, so everybody should be able to unmute yourselves at will. Right before we start with the question, Andrea Jenkins, I'm not sure if you're in an area where you can say anything. I would like to give you the opportunity if you want to add anything to what you've heard so far today. I'm not sure if you're able to speak or not.
Here.
Okay, there you are. All right. I want to say thank you to you as well, because you were the young lady that helped drive Miss Kim to New Orleans to meet with me. And so I want to give, thank you for that. And you have been so supportive throughout this whole process of me being on the team with you guys. So I just wanted to allow you an opportunity. If you want to say anything inspiring to us really quick before we get into these questions.
That's so loving, Candy, and thank you so much for such an amazing opportunity to be here with everyone. It's important that we do rally around each other, because there is truly financial illiteracy in the world, and our women need our support. And so if we have a message, if we have a gift, a prize that we can share with someone else, another woman, and we don't voice it, we don't reach our hand out to support and help, then shame on us, especially if we know and we have the answers. So it's a privilege to be a part of our How Money Works team, or How Money Works journey, and to help educate and lift up so many more women.
Thank you. You are so inspiring. Look, we have definitely got to have Miss Andrea back on to tell us about the work that she's doing. She does some work advocating for domestic violence victims. And so I definitely want to have some time to talk with you in the future. I want to give a shout out to my mom and my daughter that are on here with me. That is such a blessing to have my mom and my daughter on. So thank you guys for hopping on. All right, so let's get into this Q&A. Who wants to be so bold to ask the first question? Don't you all ask at the same time. I think we're able to unmute yourself.
I'll ask.
Hey, Miss Julie.
Hi there. Marlena invited me, and we're kind of in related professions. She's a longtime realtor, and I'm a mortgage banker for forever. And you're so right. I see all these situations with women that they get to their 50s and 60s and have barely anything because of divorce or because of the other people they're caring for, right? So there's a lot of people in these positions that you've described. And I would just love to know more about how I can, share what you're all saying with these people to get them further down the road financially.
Well, thank you, Miss Julie. Thank you for being here with us today. And don't worry, Miss Marlene is going to make sure you know exactly how you can be linking on with us so that because we are on a crusade. And anytime you're on a crusade, you're more effective with the more hands that you can get on deck. And what we are striving to do is to educate the world. Financial illiteracy, just like Ms. Andrea said, is a problem. It's an issue. It's a challenge. And there's no one person can solve it. I mean, it's just like any other crisis you think of. It does not get solved alone. We have to lock arms. So, Ms. Julie, I look forward to you locking arms with us and getting on this crusade. I already know you're going to be a force to be reckoned with. If you've been hanging around Miss Marlene, I already know you're good people. So thank you, Miss Julie. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Okay. All right. So before I go into our final part, this is the time to ask your question. You're on here with like a slew of financial experts. So anybody got a question?
I don't have a question, but I do have a comment.
Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you for being on. Thank you for being on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My name is Dazette Harmon, and I was invited by Jana Woodhouse. And I just want to say that this presentation was awesome. I'm really glad that I tuned in today. And what I'd like to know and do is figure out how to network also with like the lady that just spoke, who's a mortgage banker or loan officer or something, because I'm thinking about a potential property investment in the future, and I'm recently retired. So, I've been having these conversations with Jana, whom I just love working with because she's been my tax advisor as well as my financial advisor. So my goal is to work with her even more to learn more about the financial services industry and share my experiences and the little bit of knowledge that I have with others. But I'm just wondering also about the possibility of networking with other people like the loan officer or other people in different areas so that we can continue to help one another.
Oh, that's awesome. 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 I love when people get inspired and they want to move forward. So Miss Julie and they said if y'all can exchange in the chat phone numbers or however y'all want to do it. And Miss Jana, I know you're going to take care of her, make sure that she's in this crusade with us as well. So thank you, Dayset, for being on with us, and thank you for the kind words and encouragement. And I'm going to make sure that everyone that's on, everyone that registered, you will receive a replay link, and you will also receive the link to the next thing that we have going on, which is I'm going to go on to the Wealth Wave website and I'll find it, but I'll make sure that everybody gets connected to the person that invited them. And we're going to make sure that everybody gets taken care of, but we definitely will get the replay link out to everyone. Any other questions before we bring up our speakers for the
I have a
yes, ma'am.
I have a
Yes,
comment,
ma'am.
Candy.
Yes, ma'am.
Since the first time I heard Barbara on I think it was a Tuesday night training or something, and her talk about the way she gathers women together for networking, but really not networking. I mean, not calling it networking, and learning about their stories and learning about who they are. That has been my, oh my God, okay, I'm gonna cry. But that has been my, oh my God, there was a door that opened. That is what I've always, with my credit education, that is always where I pointed my my direction, my focus. And so I'm so glad to listen, to hear Barbara talk today, and hopefully I can connect with her and see how she how she creates what she creates.
Thank
Oh,
you.
awesome, awesome. Okay, all right, bring out the Kleenex. We
I got
tried.
it. I got it right here.
We tried to get through this without crying, but no. But that's all right. That's who we are. That's who we are. We're just so passionate about the work here that we're doing, and it's beyond get a policy or an investment, and you should get this type of retirement account. It's beyond all of that. It is at the core of getting empowered, getting the information, being in a space where you can ask questions. Where you can even feel comfortable enough to raise your hand to ask a question, getting that confidence in the connecting and getting what you need. And that's what I love about my friends that are here gathered with us today. I really, really appreciate you guys. So what I want to do, everyone that spoke today, kind of in the same order that you went in. So I think it would be Christa would be first. What I would like is for all of you to, we're celebrating International Women's Day. We're in Women's History Month. We're on a crusade and wealth wave to get more women financial educators on board so that we can help serve the masses, especially by the year 2030. We want to be able to be prepared already and ready to be in the place, because we don't want women being taken advantage of. We want them to have what they need and have someone to come to. And so I just love it. I just love it here. So I'm gonna what I'm gonna ask is that each of you, take a minute, and give us your inspiration for today. I know I'm putting some of you on the spot, but that's okay. That's what I do. So I want to start with Miss Christa. And Christa, thank you. Also, I forgot to mention that your social media guidance. I mean, I can do this thing now, like, hey, if it wasn't for Christa, a lot of us would be in the dark ages, probably still on MySpace. So thank you, Christa, for coming in and helping us with our LinkedIns and our Facebook pages. Thank you so much.
Of course, and thank you so much for allowing us just to have a few extra moments here at the end to get in a few more words. I just think it's so empowering just to be in this room with you all here and just being like-minded and on the same page, that we are so passionate. I think that's evident that you've seen today. And I would ask you to really share our mission and our message for these next generations. Because I think to myself, how different would our world look 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road? What would our market look like if we started teaching everyone how money really works? If we started teaching everyone how to save earlier, how to get out of debt, right? How much less stress would there be in the world if people didn't have as daunting of a weight as financial stress does bring to your own self, to your family, and to your life, right? I just think it's so incredible that as women, no matter what age you're in, no matter what stage of life you're in, to say, I have a skill set for life. I'm able to make my own financial decisions. I think that's so empowering, and it's so practical as well. It applies to every area and every situation that you'll encounter in your life. So I am just so grateful to be with you all today. And Candy, thank you so much for putting this all together. I'm just so excited about these next few years and what really spreading our mission to the masses will do for our world. So thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you. And we are like stalking your page, waiting to find out when we're going to be all together again in Atlanta. Like, the guy that's in charge, could you tell him to tighten up, speed it up? We're ready for our family reunion.
I will.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Christa, for being with us today. All right. So we're going to bring up Miss Vanessa. I'm not sure. Are you still available? Oh, yeah, there you are. All right. Let me bring you up. All right, Miss Vanessa, with your final words for us. And thank you. Wait, Vanessa, before you say anything, shout out to you and kudos and thank you. My husband and I are actually hosting your husband here today in Louisiana. He's here with us this weekend. We are having a How Money Works in-person workshop on tomorrow. And he flew in from Jacksonville to be with us. And so we're going to take good care of him and we're going to send him back to you. So thank you for allowing us to borrow him for the weekend. I won't tell him you were bursting with joy that he was gone, but I'll tell him you were so torn up about it, and I'll fix it real good for you. So thank you.
This is Mariko's wife?
Yes, this is Mrs. Walker.
Well, thank you everyone, and thank you, Candy. I want to really thank everyone and happy Women's Day. And I wanna, well, while I was here, I was sharing some thoughts with friends on Facebook, messaging and telling them about our crusade. I'm very inspired while I was here. So I said, well, let me go ahead and and while I'm so inspiring, sharing the crusade with other friends. I'm very introvert, so I said, well, let me go ahead and share this crusade and invite everyone to our crusade. And I just want to say thank you, and I'm very happy and very grateful of this Zoom meeting.
I am so thankful and so proud of you. We have had conversations about that, but let me tell y'all, she's quiet and meek now. Forget her in a sport, like I'm talking like pool, pickleball, soccer, you name it. She will tear you to pieces. I'm like, okay, so this is a whole setup, that she's quiet and then she gets you on the field and just demolishes you. But thank you so much, Vanessa. We appreciate you and we thank you for the support that you give us behind the scenes. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Candia, and I love you.
Love you too, sweetheart. All right. So, we're not crying. We're not crying. We are not crying. All right. So, Sierra, it is your turn. I just love Sierra. Come on, Miss Sierra. The young lady of the group.
I love you
Come
too,
on.
Candy. Well, I am just feeling so inspired, and just thank you, Candy, for putting this together and getting all of us women together. It feels like a family reunion, honestly, which is so good for my soul. And Miss Jana, I first heard your story, I think over a year ago at the women's book, that first launch with Miss Kim and Sharon. And I just remember being there and being like, wow, like the work that you and Kim and Miss Sharon and like all you incredible women like have put in to pave this path that now I get to walk into. But today I'm realizing that this path is far from being paved, right? Like this crusade, there's still so much that we need to do. And, like I'm paving this path in Lincoln, Nebraska, where I'm the only one in our crusade, hopefully not for long, but that I get to follow in this path and, contribute to it in a whole nother way. So I'm so grateful for our crusade, for the support that we are giving women. And I'm just feeling so empowered to continue in that boldly and confidently for the sake of all the women in the world. So thank you so much, Candy. And thank you for everyone for being here and for those who participated as well.
Oh, no problem. I'm waiting on Lara to ring the bell and we're coming. We're coming. All right. So next we're going to hear from Miss Marquetta Nolbert. See if I can get her back up. Marquetta, are you available?
I'm here.
Okay, great. All right. So, there you are. I'm sorry, I had to find you. That is such a blessing. I don't take it lightly that we have had this many people to get on with us and to lock in with us. So I appreciate you all as well. All right, Marquetta, give us your inspiration for today.
Well, my inspiration for today, first, I would like to say it's been a wonderful experience being here with all of you wonderful women today and hearing everyone's story and us talking about the crusade, us bonding together, us linking together. That is a great thing for the simple fact that it's not a lot of people that are willing to back us up when it comes to us being great or being better. So my advice for everyone is to keep going. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how tired you are, no matter when you feel like giving up, just keep pushing. Don't forget to sleep, but keep pushing.
That's an inside joke. Okay, look, you earned it.
Like, yes, it is definitely an inside joke. It's something that I can share with everyone. I go to sleep early.
Real early.
I don't like to be up late. I want to go to bed. I just want to go to bed. And That is something that happened at the conference when I was out. It was like 11 at night and everyone wants to sit and chat. And I'm like, I'm going to bed. We're through with business, right? No more business? Okay, I'm going to bed. So that's
Marquetta was watching her watch like, how long are y'all going to talk? Y'all are still talking. But the backstory to that is she used to work overnight as a nurse. And so she did a lot of night shifts. And so she became a full-time entrepreneur. So she can say, look, no more overnight working. So she's just trying to catch up on some sleep. So you've earned it. You've earned it. You've earned it. You've earned it. Thank you, Marquetta.
That's what I love. I love to get my sleep. So, but that is my inspiration for everyone. My inspiration is to just keep pushing, keep going, keep thriving to be the best you can be. No matter how many times you fall, just continue to get up and keep going, because we all have different walks of life, different things we've been through, different things we're going through. We just don't give up. Just don't give up. Don't let quitting be an option. Thank you, Candy.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. That's right. Quitting is not an option. That is not our language. It is not in our vocabulary. All right, Miss Marlene, we're going to bring you up for our inspiration from you.
Over the last several months, I have become aware of how important my now is, and how we only have now, this very moment. I am blessed to have spent time with all of you ladies and gentlemen in the last nows for the last couple of hours. And I always try to focus on, is this the way I want to live my next now? And then do whatever I can to make sure that I am living exactly the way I want to live right now. Having fun, laughing, being inspired, being caring, finding the purpose, and just doing it. Just doing it every day. Stay in your now.
Thank you. Stay in your now.
Issue, for God's sake. Oh my God.
I love it. Look, let me tell you, Marlene, don't change who you are. We need your compassion. We need your passion. This business, this industry, if we didn't have people like you surrounding us, we would just be boring. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Miss Lara.
Hi, Candy. So I want to echo a couple things. One of the things Sierra said, and you've said along the way, when we get together, it's like a family reunion, and it truly is. You know, we really, I love the meetings that we go to because we're family and we're connected with our crusade and all of that passion that we have for what we do. One of the things that inspires me about WealthWave and WFG in total, you know, I spent 20 or 35 years in the financial industry on the big wirehouse side, right? And what I saw of the 125 financial professionals that I supervised, there were 35 or so that were women, that all those women were in the support staff roles. So that left the rest of them as the financial advisors. Of those financial advisors, there were 2 women and 1 person of color. So when I look around the room at any of our events, and I look here today at all of us, I've got chills right now. I'm just moved, you know, we are what the world looks like. We're helping everybody. You know, we're not excluding anyone because of, like Jana said, if they have money or don't. I mean, that's a reality of today, even in the financial industry. They will not talk to you at some of the companies unless you have $500,000 to invest. And while maybe there's a place for that, but most of us aren't in that position. And I just feel so strongly and passionate about what we do, what we look like, who we're helping. It's just an awesome place to be. Thank you so much for doing this. This is a great event.
Thank you. Thank you. And you read my mind. I wanted you to talk about that. I mean, I've heard you tell that story, and every time you tell me, I get mad. I want to go find them. but that's okay. We don't have to. We just stay the course, get on our crusade, and like you said, we're out to help and serve everybody. So thank you, Laura. All right. So our next speaker that's going to give, we're going to hear from Miss Yolanda Morgan. Let me find her. You here? Yay!
I got you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so what I want to say is the community in the time, each lady that I have met that is probably on this panel in some capacity, it is very true to the connectiveness. Everyone is definitely rooting for you. So the saying that women can't work together, till clearly they haven't met this group in order to say those words. I'll say to you, Candy, individually, as far as, well, other ladies, but you have said it, you will pull anyone and everyone out of their comfort zone. So you will get them on the spot and pull out whatever they got in them, it's going to come out. And I appreciate that in you, of doing that with me as well as others. So one thing that I wanted to say about the character I had, Hope, for me, I created, Hope is not just a word. It was not just her name, I should say. For me, it was what it gives you. It's a position that you put yourself in of having hope. And I called it heaven sent opportunities that is purpose for every day. So that's
Say that again for us. Say it again for us.
Heaven sent opportunity that's purposed for every day. Wow. So that you just focus on what the purpose is. And in this realm, it is helping families.
Thank you. Thank you. That's so inspiring. That's awesome. Thank you. I'm so proud of you. Thank you. she knows where I'm going with that. Thank you so much. I'm just so proud. And thank you for the kind words as well. All right, Miss Kristeen. Let's see, is she still on? She may not be. Miss Kristeen is always helping a client. So she's probably somewhere helping a client. All right, so Miss Yolanda, Britt, are you still on? Let's see. Oh, spell her name right. There you are.
Yes, I'm still here.
Thank you.
I would like to say also, Candy, thank you for the invite and thank you for allowing all of us to be a part of it. This really and truly brought me out of a part of my comfort zone. Because when I found out that I was playing a character, I was like, oh my God, let me go and check this out and see what I need to do. But it all worked out and I'm truly grateful. I'm sort of an introvert as well, but once you get me to talking, I'll start talking. I really and truly appreciate, enjoyed, and loved everyone. Jan was very inspirational to me as a character because there are some things that we all need to do in order to be prepared. Like I said before, no matter what our age is, no matter what the time is, we all can learn about financial education and then teach others about it. So we all have to pay it forward, not only in our home, but outside of our home. So my inspiration to everyone today is, I wrote it down, seize every opportunity. And then also changing your mind changes your life.
Wow. 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 I'm going to be watching the replay so I can take notes. You guys are crushing it. Thank you, ladies. You are definitely crushing it. Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you so much. All right, Miss Jana, Powerhouse, come on, let's go. Let's go.
Okay, let me unmute. Okay. I didn't turn myself camera off. I want to be seen.
That was a nice picture too. That was a nice picture too, by the way.
Thank you. I have to talk about that picture for a quick second. That was done by the same photographer that does Queen Latifah, and he used to do Natalie Cole. Yes, that is Hollis King.
All right.
But I just want to say to everyone that those who hear and who got a message, take it out and take it to the world. We need to share what we've learned here, what we've shared here. Do not be a secret agent. Let it be known what we're doing. And those that want to participate, bring them on. Some don't want to. It's okay. But I will say to those who have been listening, Don't be part of the largest nation in this world, procrastination. Get out there and get busy now.
Thank you. Oh, now you know I'm going to use that, right? I'm going to use that. Don't be a part of the largest nation, which is, I'm leaving. Look, I am leaving that country for sure. That is, I want to be exiled to never return again. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Jana. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, Miss Barbara, come on. You responsible for Marlene crying, so maybe you're going to make us cry. So come on and do your thing.
Well, one thing just comes to mind when I think about my experience in this business, and for a lot of you who've been doing this a while, you can relate to this, but for the people that are new or considering this, you know, if you've had to really help a woman that's in distress, maybe she suddenly lost her spouse, or it's this, you know, divorce announcement that they didn't plan. I mean, you'll never forget that. And you think about all the women in your life. Are you really making sure that they understand all of this? Give them a book. Make sure they have someone. Doesn't have to be you necessarily. Because one of my close friends, you know, frantically called me when her husband had, you know, been rushed into the hospital and had a brain tumor and was gone 5 months later. And let me tell you, if I had not helped her, I was going to help her either way, but man, I'd helped her, and it made such a difference. You know, I had to deliver a death benefit check to her oldest son, who's the same age as my son. They grew up together. And that just is on my mind all the time. When I am helping someone, I'm not doing a transaction. I'm not selling them something. I'm thinking about, you know, my friend's son. I'm thinking about the funeral. I'm thinking about my family. And so, you know, I've often said to my friends, make sure you take care of this stuff. And if they want me to help them, great. But they have to do this because guess who's going to call you? You know, your friends are going to call you in those times, and you got to make sure you've helped them or made sure someone did. So.
That's right. Thank you, Ms. Barbara. That's right. Keep the main thing the main thing. We got to remember, you know, we're not getting out of this thing alive. So we want to do the best that we can while we're here in our now. So thank you, Ms. Barbara. Thank you for being on with us today.
Thanks.
All right, so I'm looking on the list and I'm like, I'm the last person to give the inspiration. So yeah, like yay for me. I got the tough job of coming behind all these wonderful ladies that have spoken today. You all have inspired us. I like what Ms. Barb was alluding to, just hear all this stuff. Like Ms. Jana said, don't be a secret agent. And if it's not one of us, let it be somebody, but get your house in order. I am, you know, this is year 25 in business for me. And I thank God for that. That, you know, I used to wonder, what is my talent? What is my purpose? My mom is a beautiful singer, has a voice like an angel, but I can't sing, you know? My daughter, she's so creative and artistic and can draw and dance and create. And, you know, I'm like, I can't do that either. You know, I used to wonder, like, you know, what am I going to do? And I truly believe my purpose is here, and it is helping. I found my voice, like Ms. Kim said, you know, get your voice out there. So I'm here, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful for have met all of you ladies. You know, we've had our different stories, and you know, like me and Christa are going to be taking pictures. You know, so it's just different things that we have while we've connected. And this is not our last meeting because, like she said, we're waiting on our next family reunion. But I truly have believed that I found my purpose talking about educating others in the financial arena. The way I got into the industry could be nobody but God. I have a degree, but it's not in finances. And so everything that I had perfectly planned for my life got rerouted another way. And 4 years ago, I met you guys through WealthWave, and it has been a wonderful experience. I'm always bragging about you guys. I'm always talking about how I've been approached many times by different agencies and different companies, but it never felt right. But you all keep the client first. And when I say you all, I know that includes me as well, but right now I'm just talking about each and every last one of you in every situation, no matter what it was always client first. And the fulfillment of helping others, your passion that comes through, your concern, even when we have to correct one another, like, hey, do it this way, or let's do it that way. When we have our intense fellowships, it's all out of love, because we just want to help each other be better. When one of us want to retreat and not do, we got somebody pushing us, hey, no, let's do it together. I'll help you. Call me. And I love that. And even though this is a financial service business, because it is a business that pays some real money, Miss Jana can attest to that. This is some real money going around here. So, but it's a wonderful thing, because we can make money doing a whole lot of different things. As women, we're very resourceful. We can get into different industries and do a lot of things. We can, we have talents and skills. But the beauty of it is we get to do it here. We get to get paid well. We get treated well. We're treating others well. And we enjoy being in each other's company. So my inspiration to you all today is to not change who you are, but continue to grow and develop. But your uniqueness, don't ever diminish that. Celebrate your achievements, small, big, or large. And if you feel that you're unheard or unseen, and this is not something that you can do, yes, you can. Take it from me. My mother is on here. She knows my story better than anybody. She's been there since day one. So to see me here in this capacity should be inspiration. And I'll have to tell you guys my story later, but if I'm here, it's possible for anybody. So I just want to encourage you all to stay the course, have your achievements. Mom, did you want to say something? I'm sorry. Y'all know I'll be in a big bowl of trouble if I don't allow. Mom, you want to say something?
No, I was just agreeing to you, but I did want to say that I was so proud of you, and I'm proud of what you're doing and all the ladies you have surrounded yourself with, how Lord is blessing you. I have seen you grow up from a child. And since being a child and growing up, you've always been a giving person. It was never selfish with your time or your love. You loved, that was one of my mottos. Love everybody, and take people at face value. Now, when they show you something different, and that's when you react different. But I feel like this is not just a learning financial job that you're doing. It's more like a movement that you're moving in a positive direction, especially when it comes to women. Because when I was a younger woman, they didn't have these kind of things. Women were too busy tearing each other down than building them up. And I am so proud of you and the people that you're working with. And I love you.
Thank you.
And I'm proud of my grandbaby, Ashante, too. She's cheery. She's doing such a wonderful job. She's walking into her womanhood. And Grandma, proud of you too, baby.
Thank you, Mama. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Okay, I'm not crying. I'm really not gonna cry. So, so I thank you, Mom. Thank you for those kind words. I don't know if anybody else, my daughter, I don't know if she want to say anything. She probably would. She's a how they say millennial. They like to text a lot, but I appreciate her being on. And she does a lot of our flyers too. So if you ever see me posting something, she probably did it. But anyway, I want to say thank you all for being on here. I will send out the replay link. Give me a day or so. We're gearing up for an in-person event here tomorrow. A How Money Work presentation. Mariko Walker. He flew in to help with that. We're going to have Dante Nard and Martin Davis are going to also work with me on that. So I thank you, each and every one of you that were here in the room. Love you all, and I can't wait till our next reunion. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Candy.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Candy.
Love you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Candy. Love you.
So much
Love
fun.
you too.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love
Thank
you
you.
and Cherry, baby. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.